Hey Rangers, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at Season 1 Goldar, because why not? This is from the Lightning Collection range. There is practically no difference between figures bar like a few things, but let's jump into it. So the casing is completely different. So first of all, we've got the lighter version of Goldar here. We've got the window display, his sword, the effect, Goldar there, Goldar at the back, top, bottom, side. Just for comparison, so you can see the differences between it. That's it. Pretty much, you get hands, you get stuff. So yeah, you can see is even the back is different as well. Look at that. That's it. So let's have a look at Goldar and open up this bad boy and have a look inside. What you get in this is very simple: figure, effect, maybe new or old. New sword, hands, and then the two little kind of wings that go in the back, and that is pretty much it. So the main thing, I'm not going to go over all the details again, because to be fair, it's exactly the same as the original Goldar. The only main differences in this figure is the fact that these parts here have been kind of blackwashed a little bit, but not a lot. The original one has a lot of gold on it. Like, there is nothing wrong with it, and again, it just feels like this is just a re-release that's so on. Now, it does emphasize a lot here, like where it's like blackened and they've added stuff, where it looks more like a kind of honeycomb, and it does look a little bit more like he's got royalty. So maybe it looks a bit like gold. All the parts are exactly the same as what we've seen. There is no major kind of difference between it. The only main thing that you can see is at the back here is where the wings were meant to go, which you'll get the two little kind of like fake wings that we get. Which is fine. Now this, to me, I find is a very lazy figure, mainly because we've had loads. This has been for such a long time, like peg warmers, where no one's really kind of picking them up. Maybe if someone wants version 2 Goldar, cool, or version 1, Mighty Morphing one. But to be fair, the other Goldar would have been better than this. So you can see that you've got the kind of more blackwash here. You've got the kind of, whatever these are, kind of come down here. His face looks fine. And then again, you've got more kind of like arms here. More arms here. You've got his two arms. You can see there's maybe a tad bit more detail around this area, as well as you've got the red there. And then on the back, there's not a lot. Now, this is more of a well-built figure. So you can see that, you've got, it feels chunky. It feels like a proper action figure. His tail kind of links in there. That doesn't kind of come out or move, so it's part of this, which is fine. So let's kind of like move to an articulation test. Look, that feels nice. I think I remember the first one not actually having nice feet to kind of move like that, and it kind of moves about. It feels boom. It feels like bam. He's gonna like stomp about. The legs move slightly that way, like that. That actually feels, this one feels like it's been upgraded. So this is kind of a plastic, so you can try and move it all the way around, but to be fair, I don't think you're gonna have his hands like doing that all the time. So hands move about like that, moves around perfectly. And then here, turn them upside down, turns perfectly. And then I think his head is kind of more like, that you can't really turn it around. Again, that's as far as I would kind of go with it. But again, if you're gonna have his head back here, why? Put it in the comments, why? Looking at the sword, there is very little difference between this one and the original. The only difference is this gold, which wasn't even on the original sword, and it kind of doesn't look like his sword in my eyes. Like I remember no jewel being in it, etc., etc. I just imagine it just being a sword. Now you do get this kind of lightning effect that would easily just wrap around like that, which kind of gives it a bit more like that. I think is really, really cool, considering like the other effect that you got. I think it was a purple one, but I like the way that it wraps around the sword and it actually feels like a flame attack, or that he's gonna teleport out. Now these two here, these are your wing nub things that Goldar has after, I think, Rita takes it. So if we bring in the figure here, go to the back and just kind of place them in. That's pretty much it. Probably I got them the long way around, so let's just swap them over. Like so. Kind of like so. But there you go. That is pretty much it. For an extra figure, because I'll probably just wrap this up now. For an extra figure, I think that this isn't worth it. I think that if you're going to re-release figures much later on, this could have been much later, not straight away. What we're in now, wave 7, so he's wave 6, and he was in the kind of second wave or something like that. I generally would have kind of kept him like much later on. Like if people are going like, oh, I can't find Goldar, I'd be like, well, Goldar is pretty much peg warm everywhere. You could probably pick him up off of Amazon for dirt cheap. So the main question is, would I get this one or the first one? To be fair, it doesn't really matter. I prefer the first one and the first how that one is, but that's particularly it. Like when you look at both of them, you really pretty much couldn't tell. Like the only difference is, like, if you looked perfectly, would just be the black parts here, but that is pretty much it. You can't really tell. It is pretty much face for face is exactly the same. It's the same height, it's everything. It is exactly the same. The only difference maybe is slightly gold around here where there's not that many there. Like let's take the wings from season 1 Goldar, well season 2, where Zed gives him his wings. So you just basically there we go. That's it. There you go. He's got wings which make it look 10 times better. So if you wanted to add this to him to make him look more effective, you can do. But that is pretty much it. So to me, I feel like this entire figure is a waste figure. You know, you don't need it. So you can skip it. You can pretty much do what you want. I wouldn't recommend picking him up. Or if you haven't got Goldar already, pick him up, because to be fair, the differences are nothing. I cannot see anything apart. Maybe, oh, the gems may be slightly bigger, but that's it. So this one, this one, if you've not got one, go for this one, or you can go for this one if you want the wings. Either way, you can decide. So I'm going to leave it there. What do you think about Goldar? Do you think that this is the right move, that they should have brought Goldar out, or do you think there's way too many of them? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.